You have activated a podcast from the Psychon Network.
And now, on with the show.
Welcome to Retrograde, the show where we storm Brian's castle. This is episode number 28, and today we're going to be discussing the castle of Dr. Brain. My name is Jack Marshall. I'm joined today by Anthony Hobday.
Hello.
Lizanne Fisher.
Hi.
And Joseph Ellion.
Hey.
Woo! Back once again with Retrograde Masters. Straight away, I can now that I don't have to hide it anymore. Look what I got this week.
Yeah.
My Ouya finally arrived. Does anyone like to hold?
I thought you got it ages ago.
I did get it a little while ago, but I forgot to mention. Do you want to hold the controller?
Oh, okay.
You're going to hear an irritating noise as I slide it. There you go.
Is this a touchpad?
That is a touchpad.
That's
I
cool.
could boot it up now, but we're in the middle of a podcast. But there you go.
How does it
Ouya.
feel in your hands?
It's weird. It's kind of good, but
Does it feel familiar
how
yet
does it-
strangely unfamiliar?
How does
Yeah.
it feel to hold the PS4 killer in your hands?
It feels like it's not going to kill Jack.
Oh god!
It's a
Beep.
glorified Android phone.
The
But it
PS4
can
killer
be
is
getting cold.
called the Xbox One, Jack.
Oh yeah, Xbox.
Oh, I pressed the button, it turned on.
Don't worry, it's under the. It's
It
under my
is
TV.
nice.
It's not. The controller's not very nice at all. I mean, it's okay.
It's making my elbows stick out, and I'm.
Yeah,
I
you keep
don't
going
want...
up till you're like this.
Jack,
I
did you,
don't know where
did
did
that
you see the
much.
review that Ashens did for the Ouya?
I have not. What did they say?
He slated it. Like it's he's the guy who did like the Polystation review on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Like and so he was.
I got to admit, I got it, installed it, put some games on, and it's fun. But it's just like you kind of just go, okay, yeah. What next? It'll be interesting what they do in 6 months when there's a few more interesting bits and bobs out for it, I guess. But
Yeah.
at the moment, I was just like, yeah, it's alright. Anyone got any news on the share?
I started playing Walking Dead.
Enjoyed it?
Loving it. It is awesome. James, I owe you millions for giving me the
just
Steam key for that.
save my life at some point in the next
I
few
will.
weeks. and
I will.
James, she just
should
said
get
she
sponsored.
owes you millions.
Yeah, figurative millions.
But that means literal millions.
Damn it!
My life is worth more than millions, so I'd take the.
James, one day I will save your life.
Thank you.
And that will pay you back.
But one
yeah.
stipulation: you're not allowed to put it in danger first.
Oh, no,
That
that's
does not
fine.
count.
Oh, so I can't do that thing like stand you on the edge of a swimming pool and go hold you and then go push you and then pull you back and say save your
No,
life.
that doesn't work.
Oh, damn. Okay. I'll wait till the zombies come.
Yeah, the infected.
But
Why
yeah.
would he die for falling in a swimming pool?
No, it's the... Did you not have... Did your
I'm
dad
a
not do it
witch,
to you when you were little?
We didn't do save. If someone said save your life, I would have been like, no, I would have fallen in the pool.
He's an alien. He's one of the aliens from Sign. Is it Sign?
But there's water in the atmosphere. How does that work?
Oh, spoiler
That
alert.
only irritates them slightly.
Oh,
Gives
It's
them
not
like
a good
skin
film,
rash.
Jack.
they're breathing
That
it
film.
in.
Spoiler alert. Well, they're allergic to water, are they?
They're aliens, Jack.
It's
of
M.
course
Night
they're allergic
Shyamalan
to
Ding Dong.
water.
It's going to be rubbish.
That film's like 10 years... Well, more than 10 years old.
Yeah.
I don't know how old that film is.
Yeah, really,
it.
really, really enjoying it. It's a really nice cross between the point and click and the first-person shooter. The storytelling is magnificent.
Yeah.
Really, really getting emotionally involved with the characters. And yeah, you haven't played the end of 3 yet. That is harrowing.
Yeah.
There's some pretty crazy stuff happens in episode
So
3.
it's one of your favourite games if you're yet still to actually fully.
Because I mean,
complete
if you're a few hours into something, you can appreciate what it's
I
doing,
guess
and you
so,
can
but-
already. I just finished like chapter 2 or whatever, episode 2, and it's one of my favorite games. So I'm assuming that going forward, there's nothing terrible that's going to happen to make me hate it.
They get longer as well, and there's more depth. And
That's cool.
yeah,
Jeez.
it is brilliant. I've finished the 3rd episode, and I've played nearly 8 hours.
Nice.
So
I'm-
I'm really looking. I'm saving the next 2.
I got stuck at the train bit because there's like puzzly stuff with
That's
the engine.
3.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
three,
then I'm
that's
on
three.
3. Oh, okay.
Genuine question is, but maybe it's a bit weird to ask, but is it hard? Like, does it make any difference the fact you're playing as a lead? Like, so it's quite an emotionally story-driven character. Is it any different because it's a male lead
For me,
for you playing it as a girl? Does it make it?
no, I
any
don't see
different?
sex as a problem.
Well, no, that's the thing. I just
You might as well
wondered
just ask me if it's weird
interesting
playing a
because-
black person.
But I genuinely
Is
feel.
it?
Well, I don't have trouble with
No.
that, 'cause, you know.
Really?
But
That's
I,
racist.
No, I just played him,
Yeah.
making the same choices that I would
Yeah, I guess
anyway.
that's-
Like, what you have to understand, Jack, is that the vast majority of video games have a male lead.
Yeah.
I've been playing as a male lead in video
But I
games for
felt
most of my life.
Like he was like he became like a father figure to Clementine, and I felt the same thing.
yeah, I still feel motherly towards her.
Yeah.
Clementine
I've got to
is
protect her.
awesome. Isn't it weird how recently sort of big budget games have taken to having young, sort of interesting, like personable female like supporting characters? Like you've got Ellie from The Last of Us, which we will talk about in a moment. Liz from BioShock, Clementine from The Walking Dead. I think it's a reaction to the misogyny and sexism that's kind of been rampant for so long.
I think it also, having a child present encourages you to be more moral about things as well. It dissuades you from the Call of Duty.
Judgmental.
No, but
she judges so hard.
No, it dissuades you from the Call of Duty mentality of kill everything, whereas there's decisions you have to make where Clementine is present as to whether or not you're going to kill someone right in front of her. And having her there, it's like it's reflecting the mirror back on yourself. Are you going to commit this crime, which you know needs to happen, but you know she will see? And it gives you that moral dilemma, which makes it more engaging and makes you more emotionally involved in what's happening, which means that when the crazy stuff happens, it really shocks you.
Speaking of engaging and emotionally involved, I think we should discuss The Last... In fact, I'm the only one at this table who's played The Last of Us.
I really want to play it. I don't have a PS3. Can someone send me a PS3, please?
Scott
Thanks.
have a PS3.
Yeah, but I don't. I'm rarely at my flat anymore.
Oh, okay. Well, then, I mean, you may as well just kill yourself, because The Last of Us it's transcendental, Lisanne.
I know. Do you know what? When the PS4 comes out, everyone's going to be trading in PS3s.
That's true.
I'll be able to buy a PS3 for like 30 quid in a couple of months.
Well, I don't know. I think your figures may be slightly off.
I've got friends in high places.
I appreciate the sentiment. But honestly, The Last of Us is the best game that's ever been made.
I really want to play it. From seeing Mark play it just before we started recording, it looks amazing.
Become retro, so we can do it on this show.
God,
I've my housemate Mark, he's been playing. We've seen it, and so far, okay, I've been watching it over his shoulder, but so far I'm not.
Yeah, but Jack, what have you been watching? Have you seen everything? Like, have you seen from the start to various now? So just coming into it piecemeal, you're totally interrupting like the narrative flow. What's going on? You're not really invested in any of the events.
I don't know. I mean, I saw the reviews, and it's done phenomenally well.
It's genius. It deserves the score. Like there are other games recently that have been reviewed amazingly well. They don't really deserve.
I hear the music's rubbish though.
Oh, hey.
Hit him where it hurts.
But it's amazing. If you're listening and you're thinking about getting it, if you're thinking about getting a PS3,
stop listening to this podcast. Just run out and buy it.
To play this, go and do it, because it is worth it.
And so you got anything to share?
No.
No update on your arm hair.
No video game news. No nothing.
Your beard's looking a bit
You're
auburn.
not playing anything at the moment.
Beards get that way. Look at mine.
Yours has a ginger tinge.
Yeah. Well,
Jack's just ginger. Or is that grey?
I should apologise for hay fever as well. I've been getting bad hay fever. I imagine you get hay fever, Anthony. No?
I do, yeah.
Yeah.
My hay fever last week was so bad, the nurse at school refused to let me carry on teaching that afternoon, and then I wasn't allowed to go into school on the Friday, and I had to not go on the Duke of Edward's expedition at the weekend because it triggered my asthma. I haven't had an asthma attack in 5 years, but my hay fever caused my asthma to go.
I'd be so annoyed if I was one of your other teachers on that, because I'd be like, oh god, we've just lost another helper.
Well, we have extra people anyway in case that happens. Like, we're covered. It's okay.
Sam, does it hurt to hear your profession demeans to the label of helper?
Those hay fevers are pretty bad. I'm seeing hay everywhere.
No, but the doctor said the doctor said that the reason that hay fever's been so bad is because of the rubbish spring. The trees didn't release their pollen a few months ago when they normally do.
Yeah.
They've only just released it now when the grass has released it, so there's double the amount of pollen around.
In Brighton, it's been a rubbish summer, though.
Well, yeah.
Boom.
Because of all the rubbish.
Yes.
We had a rubbish strike here in Brighton. All the bin went on strike, so it was just trash piling up in the streets.
It was quite horrible.
I had a friend visit me. She didn't even recognise. She was like, "I don't know what it's normally like." I was like, "No, we're not."
They were on strike for 3 days. It looked like the apocalypse.
It was,
but with people.
Yeah, after 3 days, it was appalling.
About, like 28 days later, it was alright. It was actually weird how much it did look like something.
But with
people,
yeah.
there you go. But it was just like there was things like people were taking the opportunity to throw. There was like chairs and fridges and everything by the bins.
Yeah, society just crumbled.
It did.
Nuts. It was like, oh my god.
We need them. We should pay them all millions of pounds.
I saw
a
a
year.
guy eating another guy.
Now, you know what? I read a report in the news that said that Rentokil, the pest control people, have reported a 26% increase in rats.
Could be a good Christmas at their house then.
Well, exactly.
Exterminators.
No, there'll be a boom in the pest populations because it's known that when there's an abundance of food, the animals will procreate more because there's an abundance, so they can feed more mouths.
That's probably what the aliens are saying about us right now.
Probably.
You'd say the same about
Hopefully,
humans.
hopefully that means more squirrels.
Hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
No.
I don't imagine many people are throwing away nuts, though.
More squirrel stories.
Now it's time for Squirrel Stories with Anthony.
Anyone else got anything they'd like to share?
The Last of Us, buy it.
I can't believe better than Bioshock.
It is better than Bioshock in every way.
Shocked.
I loved Bioshock.
Worth buying a PS3 for alone.
Well, I mean, like, there are so many other exclusives that you're gonna want on your PS3 anyway. But yeah, it's like I would pay the price of admission for this. It's that good.
Cool. Zen?
Wimbledon has started, and I am happy.
Wimbledon.
Never been interested.
Wimbledon, not as in the Wombles. The tennis.
The Wombles were so cool.
Tony. The tennis. Big upset yesterday. Rafa Nadal was knocked out the first round. He was the 3rd seed. Murray's the 2nd seed.
Is that on the Wii?
There probably is a Wimbledon game on the Wii.
And it's very, very... Do none of you like tennis?
No, I don't watch it.
I like watching it sometimes, but I don't follow it.
Tennis is... what's his name?
I follow Wimbledon.
Who's the best tennis man?
At the moment, Djokovic is ranked number one. You're talking about Federer?
Yeah, he did an AMA on Reddit recently.
Yes,
good.
he did.
He's very nice.
Yes, he is. He's a gentleman.
Yeah, no, I'm not out into the...
No? Oh, okay.
I don't play. There's courts right in the corner. I should go play. I haven't got a racket, though. So that'd be difficult.
Use your face. I'm sure you'll be fine.
tennis
I was going to
catch.
use my hands. Just like...
Well, okay, fine.
All
Shoot
right,
that one
nothing else
down.
to share?
I enjoy Wimbledon, but, whatever.
All right. Let's talk about this game, then. This Storming the Castle of Dr. Brain.
It's just called The Castle of Dr. Brain.
Is it?
Yes!
Okay. All right, sorry. Let's have a brief blurb on the game by the founder of Psychon.net, Brekkie Devilgate Thomason.
Castle of Dr. Brain is an educational video game released in 1991 by Sierra Online. It is a puzzle adventure game wherein the objective of the game is to successfully navigate the puzzles that Dr. Brain has created in his castle. These puzzles are initiation tests to becoming the mad scientist's assistant, a position that Dr. Brain has advertised in the local classified section that is present in the game's manual. Try saying that 3 times fast. Most of the puzzles require skill in mathematics or logic, but the game does cover a broad range of subjects, including grammar, electronics, and geography. 5 more Dr. Brain games followed over a 10-year period that were made across 3 different development teams. The first, though, was the most successful, and received average to positive reviews at the time.
Thanks for that, Brekkie. Just a quick reminder, if you're enjoying the episode, you should head over to iTunes right now and pop down a review for us. You can also follow us on Twitter at Retrograde Show, which a bunch of people did to enter our competition.
Oh, that's good.
Over to Anthony.
Competition!
Competition!
The last episode we had a competition where people could win our Retrograde Super Amazing Adventure Bundle, which consisted of Resonance, point-and-click adventure, Evoland, which takes you through the history of RPGs and adventure games.
Stop announcing what the person won last week.
Oh, just to say what people...
We're just building it up before he reveals who won it.
It's just a
We're going to
build-up.
say this is what they won.
Go on.
And the Telltale Bundle, which includes The Walking Dead, which we've just been discussing. So,
And who was this magnificent winner?
Who's the new Paul Monaghan?
The new Paul Monaghan.
He won last week.
The Paul Monaghan of this week. Well,
when we contacted him, he was like, "This is a bot." He couldn't believe it. He couldn't believe he won. He was like, "This is a bot."
His life has now changed forever.
Like, it's real. Oh, it's real.
But yeah, who is Paul Monaghan Mark II?
Paul Monaghan Mark II, the new Paul Monaghan, the winner of this week's competition is Gens of Sweden, which I assume is a collective Twitter account.
That's
owned
a descriptive surname.
All of the people called Jen in Sweden. It's all the
must
Jens in Sweden have a collective. So I don't know how
Are
they
you
know.
sure it's not pronounced Jens?
It might be Jens of Sweden.
I'm quickly just checking on Twitter to see who this person is. Oh wait, there is actually something called Gens of Sweden. It's a Swedish company founded by Jens Nyland. I don't think that's actually the person. I think we just let a company.
Are you
win.
sure? If we just
It's a real
name the
person.
company
Hell,
as the winner?
If they don't take it, if they don't reply, it would be a rollover.
Someone entered.
But
They
that's
get the
pretty-
prize.
They replied. So
Companies are people. Ask America.
Nice.
This is Sweden, James.
They won.
Twitter is an American company. Yes,
So
Gens of Sweden won. We're going to be sending you a message on Twitter.
PMing you,
Yeah, telling you how to redeem all these cool prizes. Mm-hmm. And we've got another competition for our next show in 2 weeks' time.
Yep.
It's the same deal. You tweet us at Retrograde Show with any message. Even if you don't want to enter the competition, you will be entered into the draw. Gens of Sweden. Gens of Sweden might not have wanted to enter, but I assume it's a she. It's Sweden. I'm not sure. But this person has won. No, if I hear a name Jen in England, I assume it's a woman, but obviously in Sweden...
In Sweden, it could be Jen.
Different rules.
Yeah, it could be. So...
Might be short for Jensen.
It might be, yeah.
No, Jens isn't that like a man's name in Sweden?
Don't know.
Well, maybe Jens is like a nickname for a woman.
But that would be
Stop insulting the competition winner.
What can they win next
She
week?
or he or it could be sitting there going, "Oh, that's a bit harsh." Making fun of me, isn't they? And my Swedish name.
That was rubbish.
That was the worst.
Go on.
Okay. If you tweet us, you'll be entered into competition next week to win, or in 2 weeks' time, to win the Rome Total War Gold Edition.
Yep.
Pretty good strategy game. Very serious strategy game.
Steam code for that.
Steam code, is it? Redeem on Steam. And also the recently released but no longer available Humble Bundle 8.
Oh yeah.
Which is, and this is a long list, so be prepared, but these are all corkers.
Kick back, you know. Yeah.
Proteus, Hotline Miami, Thomas Was Alone, Capsized, Dear Esther, Awesome Noughts, Little Inferno, Tiny and Big, Intrusion 2, what was I going to say? English Country Tune, and Oil Rush. A lot of fantastic games in there. Recently I was playing Thomas Was Alone and Hotline Miami.
Every time I'm on Steam, you're playing Thomas Was Alone. I don't know how you're getting so much mileage out of that.
There's 100 levels. I just finished it.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so you'll win both of those, the Rome Total War Edition and Humble Bundle 8.
Awesome.
Those both go to the winner. So, tweet us at Retrograde Show. Even if you don't want to enter the competition, you will be entered into the prize draw.
Yeah.
There is
Unless
nothing
you
you can do
specifically
about
say-
it.
It'll be the new Gens of Sweden.
The new Paul Monahan.
Or the new Paul Monahan. The Paul Monahan competition.
It's the Paul Monahan competition. Gens of Sweden is this week's Paul Monahan.
The Paul Monahan competition.
In 2 weeks, there'll be a new Paul Monahan.
Right.
It could even be Paul Monahan.
It could. Well, he didn't enter this time, I don't think.
Oh, really?
God, dear.
He wanted someone else to be the new Paul Monahan.
Get the prize back.
He's a generous master.
Yeah. Anywho, Castle of Dr. Brain. Whoop whoop.
Yeah.
Lizanne, you chose this game. Why?
Because, well, I was looking back through all the other games I'd chosen, and I'd picked a lot of quite similar games. So I racked my brains thinking, well,
Your
what?
Brian's.
My Brian's, yeah. Racked them. And started thinking about what other games I had when I was younger, and suddenly remembered the Castle of Dr. Brain. And I thought, how hilarious would it be to make Jack play a child's intelligence game. Keep in mind, on the novice level, when I was 8 years old, I did complete this. May have taken me a few months, but I got there.
Impressive.
So yeah, that's why I picked it.
And going back
Was to see Jack try and do a children's game.
Going back and playing it now. Memories coming back.
Oh yeah, flooding. Loved it. Really enjoyed it. I couldn't remember how to complete half the puzzles, so I had to actually redo them again. But still really good fun. Graphics were about as crap as I remember. Music was all the bitty DOS music. But I thought they did quite well with the limitations they had.
I like that at the start, when there's the imposing sort of scene of the castle, they use the intro to Bach's Toccata and Fugue in D minor.
Yep.
That was cool.
It's a nice touch.
If there's dark, creepy castle music, is that?
I'm glad you said that, because I was going to have to try to pronounce that. I've got Bart's Toccata and Fugue.
Toccata and Fugue.
Yeah. And for some reason, my trivia says a reference to this piece is often used in classic horror movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True? Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, it's Dracula's theme tune kind of thing. The big imposing castle, light coming up behind it, and then it's the...
Did I have to pay rights for that?
No, it's well beyond. It's common.
You're only allowed.
domain.
You're only allowed copyright for 100 years after first published.
I think you can renew it.
Really?
Yeah, but Bach is like his estate aren't going to.
So I could
not renewing
technically,
it.
But no.
I could for this show have like dun as my theme.
Yeah,
tune
but
Yeah.
well, maybe it depends, because although the actual music itself isn't licensed, performances are. So
Oh, okay. What if I did like the fart sound effects? It was quite disrespectful.
that would be
Like,
grotesque,
fart.
but legal. Unfortunately.
Well, it's the same as books that go into public domain. You can download them for free if the book's old enough.
Yeah, I think
That's why Lawrence
Mary
has
Shelley's
released.
Frankenstein.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Lawrence has been releasing his dyslexic font classics books. He's been funding the publishing of those and selling them.
Those are all freely available.
Wait,
Like,
who?
using-
Lawrence,
Lawrence who?
our friend Lawrence.
Oh right.
Oh,
We're just naming random people we know.
I see.
You know, he went to Canterbury. To
Where
go to
does he
university.
live? What's
Let's
his
stop talking.
address?
He's back
Stop
in
talking about
Brighton
people we know. What's his number? I'll give him a bell, shall I? As well. Let's
Just
get him-
reminding James
Hello.
of someone we've been friends with for a few years
I
now.
forget.
Back to Castle of Dr. Brain.
Yes.
Still in the castle
Still really
bits.
enjoyed it. There were lots of things I'd forgotten. I'd forgotten about the lift maze, which Jack's shaking his head, which is quite simple if you're just logical about the way you approach it.
Is that the one early on?
I forgot about Well, no, it's every lift. I think there's 2 or 3 of them. You go up the floors of the castle.
Oh, okay.
Lots of little puzzles that I'd forgotten about, which were delightful to return to.
Those lift mazes, did you guys know you could press that button like in the bottom middle of the screen and it would show you a top-down view of where you've been?
Yeah.
Because I had no idea about that
Still
until...
didn't solve it.
But it shows you where you've been.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't... You don't have to remember anything then.
I know, it was bizarre. I was like... But I just thought it wasn't finished drawing it or something. I was like, why is half this map missing? And I was like, it's like Fog of War, because you've not been there yet, you can't see it. So, yeah. Anthony, what do you think of the game?
The intro made me smile, mainly because it's all blanked out and you think it's an imposing castle, and then it suddenly lights up, and...
I thought you'd like it.
It's all, like, colourful.
It's really funky.
The intro made me really like, this could actually be really exciting, because it reminded me a lot of like classic adventure games.
The second castle, the version of it with all like there's a light bulb with like a flusher on it. Mm-hmm. Like that is scarier to me than just a shadowy dark castle, because at least with that you know what you're getting. But if you're going into some schizophrenic madman's like lair of punishment,
that's
and torture,
what you're doing.
Then it's unsettling.
But if you didn't have one of those, how would you flush it?
It's like Saw,
true.
but with maths, basically.
Should have put that on the box.
Yeah. Go on, Anthony, sorry, I didn't interrupt.
The intro made me smile. There's lots of interesting little things you'd notice, like when it says "Storming the Castle Gate to Dr. Brain," the title.
Stop it!
The first bit of it goes behind the start of that word goes behind the bridge.
Yeah, it's really pretty.
Well, I'm not sure it's pretty, but there's like lots of little interesting, graphical tweaks like that, which usually you wouldn't see. I guess it's because this game doesn't take itself seriously, obviously. But the writing's funny. I wrote that down because right at the start you get the memory plaque, and he says, "Keep it to help you remember you completed this part." But you're getting a plaque because you've got good memory.
And it's to help you remember. Jack doesn't get it.
That joke went completely over.
Does
my
it not
head.
say that about all the plaques you get though?
Well, no, there might be different jokes about whatever they are, but this one says, this is a memory plaque, keep it to remember that you completed this part, which is, funny. I don't really expect good writing in a puzzle game, but I guess because this was made by Sierra, it kind of had a higher standard.
Yeah.
But I thought it was an excellent mix of education and game. A lot of educational games you see, there's not much game portion to them.
Yeah.
Which is a shame. But this, I think, again, because it was made by Sierra, they had that gaming background, so they made a game that was educational but stuck to their roots.
Well, I want to very quickly jump in and cover this now, because it's very weird. It's a bit of a grey area, the actual genre of what this game would fall into.
It's an educational puzzler.
Well, there's two different things. There's educational entertainment games, which is sometimes shortened to edutainment, or educational games. This is educational entertainment games are any entertainment concept designed to educate as well as entertain, whereas educational games are games explicitly designed with educational purposes, so something that would be more used in schools.
Oh, okay.
So it's kind of hard to say.
Dr.
I would
Brain
say
would be
this
used in
is
schools.
more educational entertainment.
I would argue that the distinction there is totally useless. Why are people thinking about these things?
Well, it's just a genre.
Someone's paid money to
the genre
do it.
of games, because I even read a review where they said this was a serious game, and it's definitely not a serious game, because that's designed for a primary purpose. That's like a serious objective is generally used for something like industry or defence, something like that, to get a point across.
America's
while
Army is a serious game, because that's meant to recruit people to go and die for.
But yeah, so anyway, sorry, but so it's kind of weird. I'm trying to think of a game that's a purely educational game would be something that you would get in schools. It would just be like a maths.
I remember. Did everyone else have the Encarta CD-ROM?
Yeah, that would.
And
be
that had a game on it, which is kind of like.
Maze.
I don't know. No, it was like the Nightmare one where you had to go through the different rooms and there was a royal court and you got asked questions.
Yeah, Mind Maze.
Is that what it was called? Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, that's a
look
purely educational game.
Yeah.
I tried to find a place I could play it, but there wasn't anywhere. Because you have to have the Encarta encyclopedia so it can ask you the questions from there.
Of course, yeah.
But the game I thought of when I was thinking of other games that are both educational and actually have a game component, like could be games in their own right. The other game I thought of was Typing of the Dead.
Yep.
I've heard of that. I've heard of it. I want to play it.
But the fact that someone decided to make a game where you shoot zombies by touch typing, or typing as fast as you can if you can't touch type, I thought was incredible, and I think it goes to show that was the only other game I could think of really that fits this bill, is that it goes to show that that's not very common in gaming.
Well, that's actually quite interesting, because sort of they're very obvious in terms of what they're educating you about, but maybe a game like Assassin's Creed is historically sort of informative in that obviously the things that are happening are unrealistic, but it gives you an idea of places and names and time period and stuff.
I suppose that's true, but I don't
certain
think
games teach like technology, like sci-fi or whatever.
It used to be a lot more common. For example, I looked up Screw Attack on Game Traders, did a top 10 educational games of all time. They put Portal at number 8.
Yeah, I can
They
see
had
that.
They put what, number 8?
Portal.
Really?
I would
Yeah,
say
spatial
that's
awareness.
That does
Spatial awareness, logic, yeah, I guess, yeah.
But they also have things like Donkey Kong Jr. Math, the Oregon Trail was number 1, Read a Rabbit, Typing in the Dead, Where in the World is Carmen San Diego. And I remember all these, when they were reading these out, like Math Blaster, I actually remember all these. These were big games. And the one that wasn't on the list I remember playing when I was a kid was Mario is Missing. Because that was like Luigi trying to rescue Mario, and that was all puzzles. That was all maths numbers and stuff like that. But anyway, so
Was Castle of Dr. Brain not on the list?
no, sadly not. Didn't make the list.
What rubbish
Those
list?
bastards.
I know.
Go on, Anthony.
When I completed, it was actually quite fun to do the puzzles. Some of them were a bit tedious. But when I
Yeah.
completed the magic square, for example, in the maths room,
Math room.
I literally, not figuratively, threw my hands in the air.
Yay.
Wait, do you mean figuratively, not literally?
No, I mean literally.
As in they were
He
hands in
actually
air.
threw his
No, not
hands
actually.
in
We
the
don't need to use actually. I literally threw my hands.
Full
in
on
the air.
literal hand in air action.
Literal, yeah.
Well, not
I'm using
figurative.
literal in the literal sense.
Literally.
Yeah, not in the figurative
I see.
literal sense.
Okay.
Carry on.
Jack's lost. He doesn't understand.
Hang on, I'll get my dictionary. The button I mentioned earlier where you can show the maze on the
Control panel.
top down. Yeah, that was pretty hidden. I only saw that because I was watching a playthrough of the game afterwards.
Did you watch the really, really irritating playthrough of the game?
I don't think so.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Oh, wait.
Did you watch
Where
that
the
one?
guy decided to click every single
Yes.
thing.
I did
Yeah.
watch that.
And like read it, wait for you to have read the whole statement, and then close it again. I was like,
Yeah.
oh my god, he managed to like put it in 10 parts. Each one was about 11 minutes long. I was like,
Well, it's not a
mate.
speed run, Jack.
No, but oh my god,
He's trying to show you the game.
Imagine like just documented every single.
Imagine
thing.
you're watching a playthrough of something like The Last of Us and they just ran straight through like every cutscene. Skip it, skip
No,
it,
but
skip
and the thing is, I thought, okay, he's going to run through the puzzles. He actually took quite a long time doing the puzzles as well, and I was just like, oh my god. Thanks for doing that, by the way. Though I did watch it.
Yeah, if you're listening, we really appreciate it.
But the fact that that button was there and very useful, and that I didn't see it or notice it at all when I was playing, I felt that was kind of bad design. Like some of the UI design was a bit shoddy.
Yes.
But maybe that was shown in the manual or something. I'm not sure. There was quite a few good references, and one of the best was towards like right before you get into Dr. Brain's study at the end, his office thingy. You do the not the cosmology, astronomy,
The astronomy, yeah.
astronomy puzzle at the end, and when you complete it, a voiceover says, "My God, it's full of puzzles," which is a reference to
2001: Space Odyssey.
where he says, "My God, it's full of stars," because he's just done astronomy.
I like how you looked at Jack as though he was going to validate.
I was pointing at both of you. I wanted to see if Jack
I've
knew
never
it.
seen the film.
Oh.
You
okay.
didn't even consider that Lisanne might pick up on that one.
I've only got two hands, so I can point at all three of you.
Sorry, go on.
Were you thinking about my penis? Jack?
I was.
Jack's always thinking about
What
your
else could you
penis.
point with? You know,
Do you wish I would have pointed at James with one hand and Azam with the other, and then you with my penis?
just thrusted at me like that?
I wouldn't have thrusted, Jack. That's not necessary. I don't thrust with my hands.
Carry on.
So I like they had those kind of references in it. Overall, I thought it was good. I wish there were more games that overtly taught you things. Because, like you say, games like Assassin's Creed might teach you things about history, but they're not
It's a
really.
Highway.
But, sorry. Okay, I've got two questions. A, why overtly? And B, did this game teach you anything? Because that worries me.
I learned how to make a circuit board.
Fair enough.
She's an electrical engineer now, James.
Yeah, I was impressed
wiring the
to
lights
learn that,
when you came
actually.
in.
When I was 8, I learned a lot from this game.
When you were 8, yeah, but Anthony said that as though like this game was sort of an educational experience for him now, 24, 25?
I was
I think I
impressed. I was
probably-
impressed there was a binary puzzle.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Because I was kind of like, that's
Yeah.
something actually even I learnt when I was about like 16. I didn't learn that when I was like 8 years old.
God, 16,
Although-
that's late, man.
To play devil's advocate, how often do you use binary?
All the time.
10110011.
Whenever I'm answering a question, just sit there going 1010101001.
Jack and I
Makes
frequently
perfect sense.
text in binary.
He what?
It's fun.
Nothing.
You and he
Oh,
text
oh,
in
oh,
binary.
oh, oh.
That was cruel, Jack. He's trying.
Well, I think I might have learned something about magic squares by playing this game.
Fair
The
enough.
secret to a magic square, by the way, if ever a gun is pointed at your head and you need to solve one very, very quickly, stick the 5 in the middle. They've all got to add up to 15. Stick the 5 in the middle and then do your 2 opposite your 8, your 3 opposite your 7, your 4 opposite your 6, your 1 opposite your 9. Done.
Solve the puzzle! Do it! Do
Yeah.
it now!
Yeah, just like Deer Hunter. It's awful.
I actually use hint coin, won't lie. I got so sick of putting numbers all over the place. I
Typical
just use hint
Jack.
coin. And even the hint coin text was like, oh, come on. Really? You're using them that early? You've only got 2 of them. Don't waste them.
The puzzle I always hate, though, and I always hate them in real life as well, is the slider puzzles. You've got to slide things around to get them in order. They're so irritating.
I'm a visual
learner.
Type of guy.
I guess. So anything that's like a visual puzzle, I love. Can do those easily.
Did you do the memory one to get in the front door quite easily?
Yeah, that's fine. Oh, I'm really good at Simon. There's a TV show. There's a TV show. I can't remember what it is, but the final bit when they get through all the competitions is basically they have to just remember a color sequence, and the more they remember, the more money they get. And I'm always sitting there going, red, blue, red, yellow, blue, red, yellow. Why is this taking them so long? Like if someone tells me their phone number, I gest it in the air with my finger, and I can remember it using that. I don't remember.
Oh, really?
Numbers. Yeah,
that's cool.
I just go like.
Are you a superhero, Jack?
Not really. If I am,
really,
I got pretty
bit.
short-changed in the superpowers department. I can remember anything with my finger.
Speaking of coins and Simon, it's called Simon, right?
Simon?
Yeah, it's called
Simon Says.
Is that the game Simon, or is it
it's
Simon
like one
Says?
where you remember, the button 4
Yeah,
colours.
I'm wondering if that's got a name, and if it is Simon.
I think it is famously just known as Simon Says, I guess, right? That was a toy. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So.
I don't know what they're talking about.
Simon Says was
I
originally
know
like
Simon
a word
Says.
game.
Yeah, that's.
It's the puzzle. It was
Simon
the game.
Says, touch
Maybe
your
it was more common in
toes.
America, but it was 4 squares: blue, red, yellow, green, and it would go. And then you had to repeat it. Go.
That doesn't
And
sound
it
the
just
same as-
every time it would add another number, like it'd go to 5, then
I
6,
see.
and you have to go. And the puzzle when you go into Dr. Brains when he has the tiles, that exactly that, and that's because
Right.
I've never heard of the game you're talking about.
But
Anyway.
speaking of coins and memory puzzles, that links nicely back to ToeJam and L2 Panic on Funkatron.
Oh God.
With the dancing game, you have to put a coin in a machine to play.
How does it link back to Gunstar Heroes, though?
You look at it and you hear it, and
Cool.
there's guns.
Did you not get happy blasted all over your face?
No, not so much in this game.
Oh.
It was I got
You
puzzles.
got to complete it in a special way to get the special ending from Dr. Brain.
I see. Oh, that's like a
puzzles
cash-in
blasted in my
on
face.
the old Tales game. Because Simon Says is usually Simon Says touch your head.
Simon
or
Says
whatever.
touch your head, and then if you don't say Simon, then you don't do it.
If you don't say
Yeah,
Simon
right.
Says and they do it, then
Always
they're
played
out.
that game. Yeah, of course, did it anyway.
Yeah,
Maybe we should play that on this show.
Jack's one of those.
Yeah, we'll do that next week. Next week, Simon Says. You can play along at home. We won't be able to tell if you won or not. You just be honest with yourself. Summary of the game, MC? Did you have any more points? Sorry.
No, I liked how quirky it was. I think the writing was good. I liked that it wasn't just education, it had the game element as well. And it was actually well made for an educational game, because some educational games are they're obviously not made by people who like video games.
But you keep saying I really disagree with the idea. I mean, obviously for small children, but I disagree with the idea of an educational game, because every game is teaching you something at some point.
I think it's on
another.
the spectrum, and like you say, if Assassin's Creed's teaching you about the history of Italy or place names, whatever, that's on the lower end of the spectrum because they're not probably
It's not overtly
intentionally-
teaching you, and it's also not teaching you accurately. Like,
Well, I mean,
it's
like
also
something like Portal 2, for example, is overtly teaching you really quite difficult sort of logistical puzzles and
but-
sort of spatial awareness.
I think it's like a pliable education. For it to be education, something you've learned, you've got to be able to apply it as well.
Doom.
So, like, if I play Doom, sure enough, I'm going to be learning maybe what's it like finger, like cognitive
dexterity.
cognitive skills?
You're talking about
Hand-eye
dexterity.
coordination.
Hand-to-eye coordination, yeah, dexterity stuff like that. But I'm not. I don't think that will be applied too much.
when you
in my
then go
everyday
and
life.
write something with a pen and paper, you're applying that, or when you go and move objects with your hands or your eyes,
I guess so.
depending on how powerful.
I
Right,
think
but playing Doom doesn't really
this
help him
game
do
is
that
teaching me
much
something
better.
that is much more common that I'm going to.
At the very
apply in
least,
life.
Doom is teaching you how to process a large amount of visual data and react to it, more than watching a TV show or something is.
I'm just saying, I'm never going to be in a situation in real life where I need to fire 2 portals at a wall.
As far as
because I
you're
need to
aware,
get down to
Jack,
that guard
but never
quicker.
say never, because
When I say overtly,
Portal
I
guns
mean,
are coming. Hopefully before the zombies.
when I say overtly, I mean more about
consciously, like, this is the point.
the intent of the game. Yeah, like
Yeah.
Portal might be teaching you things about spatial awareness, inertia, and all that sort of thing. But I don't think they sat down and said, "Okay, let's create a game that teaches people about inertia."
But then
and
what's the,
spatial
why
awareness."
is that? Why is the overt sort of, yeah, this is what we're going to do valuable to you? Why is that?
It's not valuable to me. It just sticks out. I thought I'd mention it because there are very few games that are overtly trying to teach you something.
Yeah, I think that's probably because they're more effective when it's masked a bit under sort of entertainment or excitement. You know, it
Sure,
doesn't
yeah.
have to be the primary aim.
It's a good point.
I think one of the reasons these games exist is because parents will buy it for their kids.
Yeah, totally.
My parents bought it for the reason because I had got my Super Nintendo the year before, they saw how much time I spent playing video games, having got it, and they wanted me to use my video gaming in a productive way so that I could learn something. And so they got me Castle of Dr. Brain so that I would play a video game where I would learn things that I could use rather than how to jump on a turtle.
But see, you don't actually know how to jump on a turtle. You know how to make Mario jump on a turtle, which is a pretty cool skill, if I do say so myself.
Yeah, but I mean, like that's why overtly educational
games
games exist, is for parents to buy it for their kids to try and get their kids doing something.
But then if you reduce that to its base idea, the games are a cash grab then. They're trying to get the parents to buy it for the kids, just in the way that the Wii shovelware is sort of there for the parents to get for the kids.
Shovelware?
Yeah, that's like sort of the cheap, trashy,
Just
so because the Wii obviously is very cheap to develop for, so people put out like terrible games that never would have been released on any other console.
Oh, okay.
That's not necessarily... I mean, this is a bit of a tangent, but it's not necessarily a problem they do that, because it's like if you said... If a company released a product and everyone wanted it and everyone bought it and it made them loads of money, but it also happened to, say, cure world hunger, it's not like you'd be like, well, they're actually just trying to grab cash, you know. Let's, you know, ignore the fact that it's curing world hunger.
I don't know. I think some people would be like that. I mean, if they have the capability to cure world hunger...
Get rid of this product.
Why not? If they have the capability to cure world hunger, why are they charging?
No, it curing world hunger is directly tied in with people buying it.
Oh, right, okay.
Wait, what game am I going to buy that's going to cure world hunger?
A Storm in the Castle of Dr. Brain games.
James, what do you think of this game?
I played it on Expert and I got bored. I don't like I don't like puzzles. I don't like castles. I don't like brains that much. It's just it's not.
James, you love brains. Don't lie to yourself.
Brains are overrated and they're weird.
Brains.
They're creepy. Brian? My name is James. I just got bored, and it's just not for me. I mean,
how far did you get?
I'm not going to tell you because I fear that if you know how far
you didn't get in the front door, did you?
No, I did get in the front door. I know all about the maths plaque and the parrot stuff and the sand timers and other stuff. But anyway, the point being, it just I don't know. It's kind of a collection of mini games, none of which are particularly fun.
It's because you're meant to learn, James.
Yeah, but I'm an adult.
He's a lover, not a lover.
Also, it is aimed at very young people.
Exactly. I'm not the target audience. It's really old. I don't think it's particularly well designed in the first place. There's not really that much. I don't know what to say. It's difficult to talk about in positive terms because it's not really...
You'll notice that I'm not the target audience, but I found it very easy to talk about in positive terms.
Yeah, well, that's true, Anthony, but I think maybe... No, you've got me, actually. Maybe I'm just a much more negative person than you are, but I just...
No, come on, James. Don't say that.
It was pretty good, actually, guys. It was great. I enjoyed the art direction. It was very beautiful. The music was perfect. And actually, I'm hoping for a sequel in next E3.
There is a sequel.
Oh,
it's The Island of Dr. Brain.
Yes.
Oh, I see. Islands are actually much more appealing to me. So if we'd done that one, maybe I'd have a bit more to
I just chose Castle because it was the first one.
But that
and I
reminds
actually
me-
had that when I was a child. Island I played when I was older.
Oh, I see. So you didn't learn as much.
Last year.
It was about 2 years ago.
Did you learn how to build a
didn't know
raft?
it existed.
The problem with the Island Dr. Brain as a concept, it reminds me of the Island Dr. Moreau, and I think it's going to be full
No,
of...
it is full of references to that.
There were
that's weird.
6 Dr. Brain games that spanned 10 years.
Dr. Brain gets
There
around.
were 6. I didn't know that.
Jesus.
I will save that for trivia. Listen in later for that fact, guys.
It might be an idea if you sprinkled the trivia throughout the podcast.
I teased them with it.
Jack, someone was reaching for the mouse to stop the podcast until you said, listen in later for that.
You want to know the name of the 6 games? Tune in later. We'll be revealing them all one by one.
Now let's just skip ahead.
So it wasn't for you, James.
Summary, James, not for you, but
Bland.
Okay.
You didn't find any of it charming or entertaining.
Not really.
I think instead of comparing
Maybe-
it to all the games you know and love, maybe it's best to compare it to other puzzle games.
Did you have any educational games when you were younger?
Yeah, probably. I played Word Munchers. I played some educational
Classic
air
Word
quotes
Munchers, that's a great
games
game.
at school, but they never really. I was always acutely aware, even like at the time at school. Okay, everyone's crowding around these computers and getting so excited to basically just do some basic sums or like basic comprehension or whatever. But if I just wait and go home, I can play Mario 64 or whatever. Like, why are they sort of freaking out about this?
Same reason as why Kindles and tablets have brought literacy rates up. Kids are now, because reading books isn't cool. Whereas now the vast majority of kids are doing all their reading on tablets and they're more interested in reading because it's electronic, as opposed to the old-fashioned way on
Maybe
paper.
I was just very hard to motivate as a child then,
possibly.
because the computer was doing nothing for me. I just wasn't interested in those numbers.
But yeah, no, thankfully literacy is back on the up, because kids are now reading on tablets and Kindles and things, books that they could read on paper from a library for free.
So
but, yeah.
in like primary school now, kids are getting like Kindles.
Yeah.
And then, wow, God.
Surely Harry Potter though brought literacy rates up a hell of a lot as well.
Yeah, he's a wizard, so...
But
Well, no, that got a few more kids into reading, but still the vast majority didn't read for pleasure.
Until 50 Shades of Grey came out,
Yeah,
at which point...
pleasuring all over the place.
Yeah.
Child edition.
Well, you don't need a new Where's Wally book. That'll bring up literacy rates. Like
Where's Wally was awesome.
I know.
Where's Wally was brilliant.
I forgot if you can have a go at me, the fact that it's not actually a book. Even though
No, I was thinking you could do a book where you actually have to search for the word Wally in amongst the text of another book, like Pride and Prejudice.
He's hiding behind the text, peeking out like that.
No, it's like it's an exact copy of Pride and Prejudice, but there's the word Wally somewhere in the book.
It's actually quite a cool concept.
And you've got to find it, but you've got to read Pride and Prejudice to do it.
You can get Pride and Prejudice and Zombies.
I actually read that and it was terrible.
Oh, okay.
And then I thought it was bad because after that they just like Pride and Predator came out, and like just all these films like Vanity of the Bonfire Vampires or something like that, and it was just like this is just ridiculous now.
Oh, okay.
What
do you think of the game, Jack?
I hated it, absolutely hated it. I thought it was terrible.
Really?
Booted it up, got the tune. I was like, "Oh, this is interesting." Starts up, and I got quite emotional because it was like, "Oh my god, this could be like a classic adventure game." It was brilliant, and it was rubbish.
Yeah.
And what I hated about it was there was no coherence between anything. And it wasn't even like
It was a series of tests to become Dr. Brain's assistant.
The front door's got flamingos outside for no reason, just flamingos.
But he's mad.
And I was like, the first puzzle, okay, got the puzzle, okay, it's alright then. And then you go in, and what I didn't like was this, it wasn't even like puzzles were like, just another kind of reason why I don't know like Professor Layton sometimes, which is going to get you angry, is because the puzzles weren't like, so the whole idea of the game is you're going to this castle to pass a test. This is his test because he needs a new doctor, he needs a new lab assistant or something. I would have got to the front door and just gone, I'm going home, I don't want this job that bad. This is ridiculous. And what I didn't like was that you go in and you open doors and puzzles they're not in the room like on the wall, like you move blocks around, or there's like logical reasons why they just fly out at you out of the room.
It was
just
on 4 floppy disks. This game was released on 4 floppy disks. They didn't have enough space to create individual rooms at the very beginning.
5 floppy disks.
And then it just annoyed me that like the second room I went into, and it was like a puzzle, which was the most annoying thing when there was noises and you have to press buttons to turn the noises off, which is like a form of torture. It was just like, oh my god, press that one, then the cuckoo clock came on, then that one, the fountain started. I was like, oh please stop doing this to me. By the time I got to the room, the furthest I got was about the 4th room. Another room you walk in, just as a giant computer. And I was like, I wouldn't work for this guy.
That's the circuit board and the binary.
It's shocking. He's obviously insane.
That was the computer room.
And then I got to the room where there's 3 heads. And
robots.
One robot was like, I only tell the truth. One of us always lies. I always lie. One of us tells the truth. I was like, oh, screw these robots. I just like, I felt.
Did you not even try?
I had daydreams of like, I thought Castle Wolfenstein. I thought this is like the prequel to Castle Wolfenstein, where he just came back and shot the crap out of him. For some reason, I just thought the Castle Brain as well was German for no reason. I just thought it was a German castle. Don't know why. And I hate it.
You realise the robot puzzle is actually very simple once you put it on the body and then start programming.
I was too impatient.
Wait, did you? Sorry, I didn't get this bit. Is there a bit where there's like the riddle? I always tell the truth. I always lie. Like which door is the right?
No, it's there's 3 heads. One One tells the truth. One lies. One alternates between truth and lie.
Oh right, okay.
But then the way you find out which one is which is by putting the head onto a body, and onto the robot body. And you then start programming the arm to go through a maze. And then if it's the truth-telling one, it will follow your instructions exactly. If it's the liar, it will always do the opposite.
I see.
And if it's the alternate, it will do the right instruction and the opposite instruction.
Okay, so it's kind of
so then you work it out. And it's not hard to work out.
It's like a take on the classic riddle.
It's a take on that riddle, yeah, but it includes programming.
I've got nothing against like puzzles or educational stuff in games, but I like it when it is done like subtly. When you don't notice it's happening. I don't like it being aggressive in your face. I don't want education in my games. It just doesn't need to be there.
Jack don't want to learn good.
I like my games like I like my women, just like simple, easy, and digitally delivered to me as well. And it's just, I was just bored. I was running around. It was just annoying the hell out of me. I didn't even get to Dr. Brain. I just went, oh, screw this guy. I don't need this job that badly.
He probably wouldn't.
It's the same reason why Professor Layton, I'm going to slate your favourite games, because I don't like the way that like people would come up to you and they would go, oh, I don't know where so and so's gone, but while you're here, solve this vase puzzle for me. But why?
You can skip it and save it later.
My favourite puzzles in games are things in like Tomb Raider and Resident Evil, which are like you have to drag blocks around.
Turn the statue 5 times.
There's a great one. I absolutely love it in Indiana Jones' Fate of Atlantis, where there are 3 discs on a pillar, and there's a riddle that says like the sun always rises over the town in the east, or something like that. So you have to turn the stones to have the sun over a town in the east, and that's the sort of puzzle I really like. 'Cause it's kind of like, okay, I'm technically not learning anything, but it's just the joke. Or another one, BioShock. When you go to hack a thing, you have the water flowing puzzle.
You like the BioShock hacking sections.
I thought it broke up the flow a little bit, but I like the water flowing puzzle.
Broke up the flow a little bit.
Because that's like the most criticised part of that game.
I know, but then I don't know. And so Castle Dr. Brain, I mean, I could see why if I was in school and I'm, bored, I'm sitting in class and the teacher goes, who wants to play Dr. Brain? Yeah, I would have gone nuts. Like, I would have sat at that computer and played for hours. I mean, we had a very considerable computers. We had an Acorn back when I was in school. I don't know if those computers are still being made. And we had games like that. And I had one called Badger Trails, which you can still get on Amazon, which I was well happy about. But you play the life of Badger. And it's
Life
rubbish.
of Badger.
I would never play this. Like, if my parents, I know you say like your parents bought it for you. Like, I only played these sort of games at school. If my parents had bought this for me at home, even as like a 6-year-old, I would have thrown it out the window. It's like, give me Killer Instinct, get this out of my face. That's what I said.
You had a deep voice.
Yeah.
I was really grateful. My parents had taken an interest in something I loved.
They clearly raised you right, Sam.
My parents didn't. They bought me Doom, and I loved them for it.
So if you're listening and you're wondering what to buy little Timmy for his 6th birthday,
getting Modern Warfare and a headset. So yeah, the liberation of Castle of Dr. Brain was not my cup of tea.
the storm.
Well, you played the wrong game.
I don't care what you all say. It was bloody hard as well. When I was on Novice,
You were a novice.
oh, it was raw every puzzle. I do enjoy though. Something I do enjoy. I love the fact you had to use the manual to get through one puzzle.
Yeah.
I was like, pirates, take that. Bet piracy on this game was pretty low because you got to get a manual.
And also because it sucks.
She said they didn't include a code wheel.
And I did kind of enjoy little things like when you click the mirror and he goes, well, Dr. Brain sure needs to tidy this place. I did like some of the little tidbit jokes in there and that. But then, no, apart from that, I was just getting sick of it. I didn't like the way that if you're stuck on a puzzle, there's nothing else you can do. You just got to sit there and try to solve the blooming puzzle. You can't go to another room. There's only a few bits when you go into a different room. So apart from that, yeah, it wasn't my cup of tea. And that's my summary of the Castle of Dr. Brain.
I love how you turn like.
However, to quickly jump on something else, which goes completely against me, I managed to find a website called lemonamiga.com, which is
Called what?
lemonamiga.com, all one
Okay.
word, which is absolutely incredible because they've gone back and taken all of these old Amiga magazines from the early 90s, late 80s, going into 200s, and they've scanned them all in. And
Well,
not only have
that's
they
cool.
scanned them, they're all indexed. You can go through them by the score, you go by from who the actual reviewer, the original guy who reviewed the game, what magazine, the year, the month, word count, anything, and you can print them off. So I managed to print out a lot, and surprisingly, this game reviewed really well.
Oh, really?
Well, okay, it was from average to good. So, like, I'm just looking now. CU Amiga in September 1992 gave it 78%. The One Amiga in September 92 gave it 75. Loads of Amiga magazines: Amiga Action, Amiga Format, Amiga Magazine, Amiga Mania, 79, 81, 6 out of 10, 78, 61, 78. They all gave it really good reviews, and I'm quite pleased to say one of them, which I think was Amiga Mania, did say a pen and paper is essential to take notes. It's no doddle, not even nearly. So it wasn't just me. Back then, they struggled as well.
Mm-hmm.
I thought. It was
I just like the fact that
hard.
8-year-old me is cleverer than modern you.
Oh, I agree. I thought it was really. I think though it's.
No, I found it hard when I was a child, but it did take me months
It's
to complete
kind of
it.
like an old school style of puzzles, though. That's what threw me. I'm used to a more modern puzzle.
In which there's a
You
gigantic
mean magic
floating arrow
squares,
telling
which
you where
are
to go.
ancient?
Well, the one where you have to put like the grid of 9, and you have to have all the numbers going across. They have to add up to the same
That's
thing.
the magic square.
Oh my god!
That puzzle's been around for centuries.
It's just trial and
millennia.
error. It's just trial and error.
It's not.
Just trial and error. Just keep putting numbers in until you get it right.
Put 5 in the middle and then put the numbers that add up to 10 either
I'd
side.
use a hint
That's how you
point.
do it.
Oh, another thing I did actually quite like, I like the fact that it had a very early form of kind of, not adaptive difficulty, but the option to change the difficulty while you're playing was nice. Yeah. And I thought the idea of hint coins, which to be honest, off the top of my head, I couldn't think of a game before this that had that idea that you could spend coins to get advice or information, which is still very rich now in like social media gaming. It happens quite a lot, or some games where you can spend a coin to get advice. I know there's like those sort of ones you get on iPad, you have to find something on the screen, or like the pub quiz games you get in pubs, where you have like revealed a secret, you get like 3 attempts to do that, or you get extra lives, things like that. So I did like it, and that was nice, but yeah, apart from that, no, I thought it was rubbish. I never even got there. Apparently at the end he introduced you to the people who made the game as well, which I was looking forward to seeing. But
that part was quite fun. Because they put these little animations of the creators on TV screens.
Yeah.
And each one of them was doing a funny pose that was animated.
Yeah, they do silly things.
Did anything else have anything we had to say before we move on to trivia?
You did trivia wrong.
Trivia!
Yeah!
I think that's a resounding no.
Nothing else to say.
All right, well...
I think that a testament to the game's lack of quality is the fact that we've run out of things to say about it after like 5 minutes.
We said more about Castle Dr. Brain than we did Mario 64. Just
That's
saying.
true.
Just
That's
saying.
true. The game was, to answer a question you always ask, James, the game was £34.99 on release in this country, which is about
ridiculous.
like $55.
Would a school have to pay for each copy?
They get a discount.
Oh yeah, we get some discount.
Yeah, I get educational discount just for being a teacher with Apple. I get 15% off brand new Apple products.
Wait, for yourself?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Just because I'm a teacher.
Man, that's crazy.
The game was spread across 4 discs. Loading times was one of the constant themes that a lot of reviewers complained about. Apparently loading times were like hideous, which is quite funny. The game, like I said earlier, which now you can find out the answer to, the game spawned 6 releases. So a direct sequel was called The Island of Dr. Brain, was released in the following year, 1992. Then a change in development team led to 2 further sequels, The Lost Mind of Dr. Brain and The Time Warp of Dr. Brain. The game, a license and image, was then purchased by a further development team, taken away from Sierra, where 3 more games were made in 99, 98 and 97, called Dr. Brain Action Reaction, Dr. Brain Thinking Games Puzzle Madness, and Dr. Brain Thinking Games IQ Adventure. Amongst the educational games area, this is actually a very successful franchise. In the second game, Dr. Brain, the protagonist is now Brain's apprentice and must travel to Dr. Brain's secret island to retrieve a missing battery, which is used to power Brain's newest contraption. But in the third and fourth games, it's much more loose, and you can actually pick random puzzles at a time. And this is where it actually gets, but this is quite interesting. I was doing research for this. It's actually really confusing because basically the game was made by Corey Cole. He designed it, and he's famous for doing the Quest for Glory games and some of the Police Quest games and Space Quest games, all for Sierra. And him and his wife, Lori-Ann Cole, who also is a designer who worked on Space Quest and Police Quest games, they've got their own Wikipedia page called The Coles. So I was researching about them, and they now work for a company called Far Productions. Last year, on October 19, 2012, after being really persuaded by adventure fans, they launched a Kickstarter for a classic 2D adventure RPG called Hero U Road to Redemption. It got 6,000 backers and managed to raise, they asked for $400,000, they got $409,000. It's still going, it ends next week.
Nice.
So the average price per donation is $66. And you can now go and look at www.hero-u.net. So they're now still making games, and it all came from Dr. Brain.
That's cool.
And it's confusing because they made in the Quest for Glory games, there's a doctor called Dr. Cranium, who is a descendant of Dr. Brain, and there's lots of references back and forth between them, and it's just, it was just quite confusing. I was just looking it up, and like, they, for some reason, put the world of Dr. Brain is also in a lot of their other games, including Space Quest and Quest of Glory.
Awesome.
It was just weird. Apparently, in Dr. Cranium in Quest of Glory 4 says, I've got a distant relative called Dr. Brain. He's got an amazing castle. I wish you could see it. Stuff like that. So
Nice.
It's kind of cool. I like
weird.
that sort of cross.
Yeah, the
IP
cross-referencing.
But yeah, these two, the Coles, have been making adventure games. They're very amongst the adventure kind of hardcore old classic adventure games. They're like one of the 2 of the figureheads, and it made Dr. Brain. Because when you first said we're doing Dr. Brain, I thought it was just some random educational game that was just made thing. One thing I did find quite interesting as well, looking up on Amazon, educational games still sell really well.
Really?
Like, you can still get educational games made like 15, 20 years ago, like Arthur, or like things just like games like that are on CD-ROM now that are just like, I can't believe these are still being made. These are still like people are buying them.
I suppose parents are stupid and kids don't know what they like.
Yeah.
Well, you can still walk into like Game and have that really rubbishy section of PC games,
And like
now
90%
have, like,
of
really
them are-
old educational games
Yeah.
are still there, but yeah.
And then like 5 copies of Diablo 2 for 30 quid each.
Yeah. And that was all my trivia, so it was quite hard to find, but there's some good stuff in there.
Well, we
Some good
appreciate
stuff.
you finding it, Jack.
Yeah.
Kind of been easy.
You know. So let's get on to the retrograde part of the show. Zan?
Axe.
Axe.
No.
I
okay.
choose the axe.
No. I've been thinking all episode about which one I'm going to do. I've got 2 that I was going to choose from. And I think I'm going to go with, if this game was a... Oh no,
I don't like having to think on my feet. Just tell
I'm
us.
flipping back to the other one now. If this game...
Vegetable?
No!
Axe.
If this game was a castle, what castle would it be?
Alright, I've got one. The
Yes.
Dread Fort from Game of Thrones, because it's rubbish and everyone always dies there.
That's really good. No one dies in this game, though.
I've got one.
Okay.
The castle in Caerphilly, Wales, which is not a fictional castle, unlike James's.
Yeah, but mine's interesting.
Well, you haven't heard
Yours
about
is in
Caerphilly
Wales,
Castle
dude.
yet. Castle in Caerphilly, they shoot fireworks out of it on bonfire night. So after the fireworks is done, the whole castle's wreathed in smoke, and it's all really colourful and amazing. And this game was colourful, and so it reminds me of fireworks.
Pointedly not
Excellent.
amazing, though.
No, not amazing, but
I was
colourful.
a little bit annoyed because I thought you were either going to... I had to research, so I didn't look like an idiot. I thought you were going to either say famous mathematicians or famous doctors. So I actually...
Doctors, it was either doctors or castles. I was thinking doctors or castles.
ready so I could look clever and you guys could go...
I wish you'd done doctors.
You were
That
going to say
would've been good.
Shipman, weren't you?
I was going to say
Yeah,
Shipman.
that's why I didn't. I was like, someone will say Shipman, it's probably going to be James.
So now castle.
Castles.
I didn't research castles, but...
Oh, okay, well, shall I say whilst you're waiting?
I'm going to go just for a sand castle. Because it's designed for children.
Jack, can you do me a favour? Can you name one castle that isn't a sandcastle?
Windsor.
Oh,
That's
okay,
it, though.
okay.
Camelot.
Camelot castle.
But then, sandcastle, because it's designed for kids, but actually pretty hard to make. They're normally 40 bits, and they don't last very long. They just get knocked over eventually, normally by a bully. That's about
Just
it.
like this video
Shallow.
game.
Are we the bully in this
Nothing on the
situation?
inside, and it's basically just dry dirt.
Sands are wrong.
I've never been that mean about one of your games.
And anyone who
Bloody
likes
hell.
this game is stupid.
Yes.
Well,
absolutely.
considering 8-year-old me beat 28-year-old you know.
Can we just point out that sand is not just dry dirt?
Yeah, it's not.
It is, isn't it?
It's ground down
It's
rocks.
ground down rock.
Yeah.
Really? Oh, I thought it was just dry
If you
dirt.
keep grinding it down, it becomes glass.
What snow?
You mean sand?
Snow is
Snow's just,
Yeah,
snow's
sand
just
is
clean
glass.
dirt.
Snow is
Yeah,
also
yeah,
snow is also rocks.
I thought all elements are just forms of dirt in various states.
You're a form of dirt.
We are all made of dirt.
Ashes
Carl
to
Sagan.
ashes, dust it. No. I was going to liken it to Hogwarts because it's full of lots of magical things.
Think about this. Hogwarts.
Oh no, Hogwarts is better than the Castle of Dr. Brain, but they're both, Castle of Dr. Brain is filled with lots of puzzles and intriguing things, and there's lots of interesting things to learn there that you wouldn't necessarily learn in school, which is quite similar to Hogwarts.
Albus Dumbledore once said that Hogwarts is the safest place you can be, yet people constantly die there. I just thought I'd point that out. That's bullshit.
They didn't die. I know they did die.
There was
in
a
Hogwarts.
basilisk that was going about like freezing
Well, no,
people.
they got petrified. They didn't die.
Paralysis is worse than that.
Myrtle died.
Well, nobody cares about
They brought them back.
running
They brought them
everything
back.
on
It
the
just
show,
took them a while to
isn't
sort the
they?
potion. And Cedric died, but that was Voldemort's
Dumbledore's
fault.
an
And that
idiot.
technically didn't happen within the grounds of Hogwarts. That
If
they got
someone's
the portkey out of the
It's
grounds
a dangerous
of
place.
Hogwarts.
It's more dangerous than Afghanistan right now. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, not right now. It's all finished. Voldemort's gone.
Well,
They're fine.
It depends what book you're
Okay,
reading
if someone's
right now.
listening,
Hogwarts
who's
is
tomorrow
forever.
night just
That's
rented
true.
on Netflix Signs and Harry Potter, they're going to be world disappointed now.
Okay, Harry
Like,
Potter isn't
oh.
on Netflix,
I love
so...
Hogwarts is more dangerous than Afghanistan.
Yeah.
I would have read that Harry Potter book.
I've got my Netflix account brand new. I've lined up Signs and the Harry Potter
It's now.
Pentilogy, I don't know what you call it. But before I do that, I'm going to listen to the latest episode of Retrograde.
Ruined. Now they know
Harry
that
Potter
Alien-
in the Helmand province. I think that would work.
and the Gaza Strip. Harry Potter and the strip of Gaza.
Wait, where is this?
Those goddamn mudbloods need to get back to where they belong. This is our land.
Where is this Hogwarts?
Belongs to the wizards.
Hogwarts.
Yeah, where is
It's in
that
Edinburgh.
castle? Edinburgh.
Yeah.
I haven't
No,
been
it
to
wasn't ever
Scotland.
revealed
No,
in the
part
film,
of-
was it?
It's
Part
in
of-
Scotland.
No,
Oh, but-
part of it. They use different castles. There's one in the south of England.
Oh yeah. There's they use a castle in. No, they used an old school.
Well, they go out of King's
in
Cross.
Coventry. They used the inspiration for Hogwarts with the towers and everything came from another school building in Edinburgh, which I've been to.
The interiors are all Hogwarts, though.
Yeah.
And they go out of King's Cross, so they must be going north. Like, it's not gonna
No,
be
we
based-
know they're going north because it says they're going north, and also the length of time the train travels. So the only distance it can go is up to the Highlands.
If they were like just outside of Coventry, it'd be a bit rubbish.
Well, the train
That'd
journey
be a
would only
bit
be a couple of hours,
It was
whereas the
only a
train
couple of
journey.
hours, wasn't it?
The train journey to Hogwarts takes nearly all day.
People are going to
They leave at 10 a.m.
Jackie takes all day. What are you thinking?
They leave at 10 a.m. and they arrive at night.
Oh, do they?
So it's going to be past 7.
Well, it depends
So
whether
it's
you
up
go
in
by
Scotland.
train or a flying
Well, it
car
depends
or
on the train how
hippogriff.
fast it's going as
It's
well.
the Hogwarts Express.
I don't know.
Normal train
They
speed.
could have just got a magic train that would
Why
take you
are
there
they so dumb?
immediately.
So it's in
This
Scotland.
whole thing is ridiculous.
It's in Scotland.
they've got-
Hogwarts is in Scotland.
And it sounds like they've got a snake problem. Or...
They did, yeah. It's sorted now.
Basilisk is a snake,
Why
but
do
it
people
has
still live
like
in a
legs and
castle?
arms and stuff. It's not really a snake.
Surely it's falling down by now.
I wouldn't send my kid to Hogwarts.
I'd live in a castle.
They don't teach maths or anything.
I'd send mine to
anything.
Durmstrang
They'd have
because
to play. Like, if I'd have gone to Hogwarts and played this game, I would have been even worse at it. I can't do these puzzles, but I can,
yeah, but you'd be a wizard,
I
Jack.
can zap a creature for
Are you saying, okay, my intentional ignorance about Harry Potter aside, are you saying that if you sent your kids to a magical castle and they were asked to do a magic square, they would have problems?
They'd probably just. Like,
Anthony, you're forgetting they're Jack's
they
kids.
would come to the numbers up.
Doesn't matter what school you send them to, Jack.
They're screwed
They'd
with
get
you
to-
for a dad.
They'd get to the door and try to say like a special password, and the door would go, "Sod off! What are you doing? Press the coloured buttons." Anyway,
No, they do.
Expelliarmus.
Expelliarmus. There's no R's in it. Oh no, there is.
Oh yeah, they would just do Accio and the door would open.
Arachio door.
Accio and the door would
No,
open.
no, Accio
Axio.
brings
Unlocks
something
doors.
towards you.
It's
No,
Axio.
Alohomora unlocks doors.
No, that
Mahora.
opens.
I've got a friend of mine in.
That's hello in
she
Hawaii.
loves Harry Potter. She thinks it's great fun. So every time we watch a film, say if this was Harry Potter, he would have just done blah 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 on that. Like if it's Titanic, she would have gone Expecto Patronum on that iceberg. No problem, job done.
Well, she
Apparently,
sounds insufferable.
Harry Potter could solve every other film, apparently. But anyway,
She read the books.
yeah, I read the first.
No,
5.
has she read the books?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed the show, you can visit our website at Retrograde Show. That was the episode of Dr. Castle of Dr. Brain. Not
Dr.
the,
Castle of Dr.
The
Brain.
Storm in the Barricades with Dr. Castle of Dr. Brain.
In Warport.
Visit our website at retrogradeshow.com to find a back catalog of our episodes. And you can find us on Twitter at Retrograde Show. And you can do that to do what, Anthony?
Oh yeah, if you want to enter the competition, a reminder: if you want to win a copy of Rome Total War Gold Edition and the Humble Bundle, Humble Bundle 8, lots of great titles in there. You need to just tweet at Retrograde Show, and you could be the next Paul Monahan.
You can say anything you want. We don't care. Our self-esteem can't.
That's
take
for the next 2 weeks. We'll be announcing the winner on the next show.
Yeah. And if you enjoy the show, please take time to write a review on iTunes. Every reviewer for us on iTunes gets a free Retrograde badge. Just PM us when you've written us a review. And thank you to everyone who's been writing as well in our foreign iTunes stores. Not our ones.
Foreign.
Because I just went through them all. I was going through every country and I was trying to find a review in like Albania or something. If there's anyone out there living in a really foreign country, please write a review.
You spent all night translating that Russian review.
yeah. And it
Krillix
just,
are hardline.
I should have
And then we told him about Google Translate.
yeah, there's a 1 star anyway. Show not good. Yeah, we're back in 2 weeks playing StarCraft. Chosen by James. Why?
Because he hates us.
It's essentially South Korea's national sport. I think that we haven't really done many RTS.
Well, they've
Have we
moved on to
done any
StarCraft
RTS?
2 now.
What does RTS stand for?
Real-time strategy.
Theme Hospital was the closest we got.
Yeah. StarCraft is one of the landmark games of the last 20 years. It was massive, and it's still happening. StarCraft is still happening.
Well, StarCraft
right
2.
Now. Well, no, StarCraft is still.
I know,
There's still a
but-
pro scene.
StarCraft's still like they're going to
Yeah,
be playing that next 50
yeah,
years.
but
In South
StarCraft
Korea,
2.
I'm pretty sure there's more coverage of the original than StarCraft 2
people,
even
really?
now.
People die playing this game.
No, they do. They actually do.
They actually die.
There was
In real life?
Actually
Yeah.
die.
Well, I don't want to die.
Well,
was-
everyone's going to
well,
die,
listen,
son.
Yeah, but I don't want to die in the next 2 weeks.
If you play it
I've got
backwards with
stuff
the
to do.
lights off, you'll die.
Yeah.
If I play what?
One of those Borg things comes out the screen and just eats you.
Wait, what?
That doesn't really happen.
Jack, you almost died playing the Castle of Dr. Brain.
I want to liberate it. Yeah, so make sure you play StarCraft before that in 2 weeks' time. And that's goodbye from me, Jack Marshall. Goodbye from Anthony Hobday.
Goodbye.
Goodbye from Zan Fisher.
Bye.
Goodbye from James McFadden.
Follow us.